Tailgate! Let's go!
Get your popcorn ready.
It's game time, baby. Put your feet up on that coffee table. Yes, sir. Check what's in the fridge.
It's busy today. Gotta get busy today.
Man, I'm excited. Excited, man. Another great opportunity. Come on! Come on, play the thing, man.
It's not just a no, it's a hell no.
Hey, what's up? It's Alan Robinson, Tailgate with Barfly Tailgate Show on the Bears Ballroom Radio Network.
Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the season kickoff, the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's live. It's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there. So we worked with the opening a little bit. Let me just put that to bed first. We worked with the opening a little bit, and there's some stuff I took out of there just because, whatever. But maybe we'll release that for you later on sometime this year. It's me making a fool out of myself, but I really didn't give a shit. It's early morning. Here we are. We're ready to go. We got the boys in the house. First off is Mr. Ryan Badgley, Badge of Honor. Badge, what up, man?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Excited to be back with the Barfly Tailgate Show. Yes, it's not pregame Sunday just yet. We got 1 week left, but you can find us right here before every Bears game, and we're going to bring it all to you right here on the Barroom Network StreamYard channel. You find us on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Facebook at some point, because I think we're having some issues there, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, whatever. Man, it's an early Sunday morning. You see us all wiping the sleep out of our eyes still. I just Monster, we're gonna have to. We got to get into our season form also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see it spinning on AC over there. So I'm kind of.
Oh, am I good?
No, he looks good to me. Let me bring
okay.
him to the
It must be you, Bobby.
maybe it's that new fucking beard gel you're using over there. Then we got the Kentucky kid, AC, Aaron Curran in the place to be. What up, man?
What's going on, boys? Ready to talk some Bears. It's really early, but like you said, got my monster locked and loaded.
Yeah.
I'm
translucent monster.
Yeah, it's green, so I didn't think about that before I held it up.
Do I have to explain this to you guys?
Look at
Monsters
this.
are bad for you.
Look at his monster badge. Hold the monster up real quick.
My wife tells me that, and I always tell her I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
There's like a dog in that thing.
Oh my gosh!
That's because Monster didn't pay for this promotion.
Those assholes. All right, well, we got a lot of things to go over today. Mr. Ryan KB, Kirkland Billings, he'll join us later on today. Hopefully, he's he's got his fireman duties going on and out there serving the community and that. So, we got a lot to go over today. Obviously, we don't really need to touch a lot on Mitch winning the job. I mean, we can say what we think about it, but that's kind of beaten down all over all of Bears Twitter, Bears damn podcast everywhere. But yesterday we got the final 53.
Let's just ask this before we go too far.
Send it.
Were either of you surprised?
No.
Right?
I didn't think it was a competition at all. I didn't think it was going to be a competition. Whatever. I mean, I think it fired him up and in a sense made a competition in the camp and made Mitch believe it. But I don't think that in the business eyes of it that there was ever a decision of whether or not he was going to start. I think he was always starting at least the first couple games. So whatever, man.
I thought it was going to be I thought it was an open competition, but I just feel like from everything I was reading from the practice notes from guys that I follow on Twitter and whatnot, it seemed like Mitch was playing better than Foles. So, I mean, we as Bears fans are going to see a lot of hate from other fan bases because Mitch gets the short end of the stick. But the guy beat out Nick Foles. I mean, it's not like he beat out Tom Brady for the job or anything, but the guy showed up to work. I mean, he was working with these guys all off season, working with chemistry and whatnot. So not really surprised he won it, but I'm happy for the kid.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so look, and since you said that, right, I'll just throw it like this. So Trubisky worked with these guys all off season, right? I mean, we heard it.
Yeah.
It was put across. You had just mentioned it. Why was the competition so fucking close then? Like, why is it even close? If he's had the advantage of working with these guys all offseason and throwing to these guys, and Foles did not. Foles didn't throw to any of them. He didn't have any preseason, no time in LA with them, no time anywhere to practice with these guys or to work on timing. And the competition is still close. That's what really bothered me. Yeah. Like when everybody was saying how close it is, and I'm thinking about all this whole offseason, Mitch is working with wide receivers and he's working with these guys, but yet we're still saying that Foles dropped a dime here or Mitch missed this one or that one, and that the competition is close. He's got like months, years of a head start on this dude, and the competition's still close. So whatever. I mean, it is what it is, right? But congratulations, good for him. And we'll go from there. Let me look over here real quick. We got Mr. George Bayless, Barlissimo in the chat room. Barlissimo, what's up, man? Tommy's in there. Aldo asked, are you guys hungover? A little bit, I guess. I mean, I got this monster going. We had the fantasy draft show last night, and since we're mentioning the guy, we'll see if he hops in a little later. But the Barfly Tailgate Show would like to give a happy birthday out to the Godfather, Mr. Aldo Gandia. Happy birthday there. I think you're supposed to grant us like one. Oh no, that's on a daughter's wedding, right?
I missed the day of my daughter's.
Yeah, Chubbs 82, he's in there. He said, who said it was close? I don't know, Chubbs. We were just going off of what everybody said, how it's neck and neck,
Yeah, I mean, they could just
but
said
that's
that.
What it,
I don't know.
I mean, you had these media guys that they made it seem like Foles was winning this. Like he was the guy who ran it all. And I never once believed that Nick Foles was going to be the quarterback for this team. Now, hopefully Mitch doesn't go down. Hopefully he performs well and really shows this team.
Yeah.
And you can't, let's look at it this way. The beat reporters, they do a great job covering the team. But let's be honest here. A lot of these guys are fans like us. Yeah. They're giving their opinion, and people on social media take that and make it that it's oh my gosh, this is legit. This is what look at Foles is winning this competition. I didn't believe it for a second. I didn't believe that Foles was going to come in here and take this job from Mitch. It just wasn't something. We said it back when they made the announcement that they signed him. It just wasn't something I saw happening. Now that Mitch has the job, he's got to be the leader of this team, which he leads. He does. I believe he leads very well, which is great. But he needs to show it with his play. And that's been the biggest thing for him all along. And, I think there's encouragement now that he's fixed his mechanics, and there were balls last year that he was overthrowing that now you've also heard from the media that, now he's throwing good balls. Well, maybe it was his footwork. Maybe that's what it was. And hopefully that'll change.
John D. will help with that a lot.
Yeah, and there's a lot of speculation that we could say, like, hopefully this, maybe that, right? I think the number one thing that helps this dude this year is having, like, viable tight ends. I mean,
Absolutely.
tight ends is a quarterback's best friend, man. I mean, they'll make you look awesome. They'll make you look great. They'll provide that extra piece, and just the confidence in having the confidence in throwing to one of these guys is going to build his anyway. I mean, we've all played backyard football, right? You've all played a game, a pickup game here or there. You know that there's that one kid you're like, I'm not throwing to that kid. Yo, dude, just go over to the far left and and do this, and we'll see what happens, right? I feel like that's how this tight end group was to Mitch. Like, man, these guys ain't going to help me out here. And, just giving them extra weapons. We got Tommy Smalls in the chat asked, do you guys think the first game, the first game he does wrong, they will pull him? So do you think the first game that he messes up that they'll pull him? I don't think that they'll pull him on his first mess up. I think you got to give him some time. I do think though, if he comes out, I think this for any quarterback in the league, if the dude comes out and throws 4 picks in a half, then yeah, you're kind of sitting him down. And I mean, if you have somebody, it's not like we're going to Chase Daniel anymore, or we're having to pull in Tyler Bray. You got somebody who can actually do it, then maybe you do it. I don't know. Badge, what do you think, man?
To me, he's got a short leash, excuse me. But here's the other part to this too that I don't think a lot of people are thinking about. How many times has a guy thrown a multi-interception game? You can count it on one hand. So I'm sorry, I don't see Mitch going out and throwing multiple picks. I just don't see it. Now, if he goes out there and he isn't able to move the ball down the field like we saw last season, they're going to have to figure it out. Maybe at that point, that's when they're going to have to look at this and go, all right, Mitch, listen, you're not making this easy on us, man. You're not doing the things we need you to do. Now, again, as we talked about a lot last year, the offensive line struggled. And if there is improvement there, I think you're going to see a totally different offensive team than you saw last season. And it all starts up front. I'm tired of it starts with the quarterback. The quarterback is a big piece, but that offensive line is bigger because that's going to give him his protection, his time, open running lanes for our running backs. Those are things we didn't see last year from this offensive line. And as of right now, the only change is at right guard. So that means Charles Leno is back, James Daniels is back, Cody Whitehair is back, Bobby Massey is back. There's no changes other than that right guard spot. And Ifedi now moves inside to guard where he has primarily been a tackle. So, I mean, the fact that so many people put all this blame on Mitch last season when he really wasn't the main problem. It was the offensive line and their lack of ability to open holes in the run game and give Mitch enough time to throw the football. Now, when he had time, was he good? There were times he looked all right, but there was a lot more times that he didn't. He missed a lot of throws. And hopefully this season that changes.
Yeah, and I think, like we were saying before, I think it all starts with confidence, man. Once you have the confidence in your line, you have confidence in some tight ends. I mean, they're all building blocks already. Yeah. And that's, dude, you put somebody back there and he thinks his blind side's coming or whatever, he's gonna force a throw. He's gonna be off target. He's gonna miss this, and that and be rushed. If you give him a little sense of comfortability back there, I think you'll see things clean up a lot and and go from there. Do you guys think that this at all has anything? So you guys know, everybody knows, I'm pretty sure, Foles contract, right? Mm-hmm. One thing that I've been hearing a lot though is that people are saying, well, he can opt out after this year. Foles can't opt out after this year. Foles has to hit certain milestones in his contract in order to be able to opt out. And one of the first milestones he has to hit in order to opt out is half of the offensive plays. He has to be over 50% of the offensive plays in the regular season. The second thing is half of the offensive plays in the playoffs. The third thing is NFC Championship game. That allows, he's got that in for both years in order to opt out, both this year and next year. So do you think any of this kind of handcuffs handcuffs Foles to the team if they're like, well, we start Mitchell, he runs, say, the whole offense for week 1. It's already a
we're losing Bobby there. So basically what he was getting at with this Bears offense and Nick Foles as the quarterback, I don't see him personally speaking that he's contractually, is he under contract? Yes, he's contractually obligated to the team. Now, next year, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we can sit here and talk about this till we're blue in the face, but at the same time, I'm not worried about next year right now.
Yeah.
Foles, if he's here, technically he's under contract, which if he's under contract, fantastic. That means we at least have a quarterback on the roster, because right at this point, let's say Mitch goes out and bombs. We've got nobody behind Nick Foles then going into next offseason. And if Mitch bombs, that means we're going to be drafting a quarterback pretty high, and I'm not sure it's going to be Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy making that decision.
Oh, I think they're safe.
I agree.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I think they're definitely safe for next year. What would AC? Go ahead, man.
I don't know. I think if we have a bad year, we're 6-10 or something like that, and we're picking in the top 10 of the draft, I think we're going to have a whole new regime next year. We'll have a new general manager, a new coach, and a new quarterback. But with them holding Foles not starting, he may not be able to hit those milestones, so he may still be under contract. So you might look at him as the bridge quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's tough to say at this point. What's the internet like where you guys are?
I don't know, man. I see AC's like looking like Richard Nixon up there. But yeah, I mean, who knows, man? It could be. I just think that they're safe, but I mean, that's just kind of, speculating at this point. But I think that they're both safe no matter what. I think Nagy's got the excuse that he's got his staff. Pace, I don't really think Pace has been that bad. Unless the O-line completely falls apart, but they could still turn around and say that.
I just want to point out, Bobby, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we've got the Howard Stern show watching us right now. You can see I put a comment up there from the Stern show.
I'm sure that's fake, but
I just wanted to, make just wanted to point it out.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this 53. We also have some exciting news, some Bears barroom breaking news to let go today. You wanna go through the offense and then we'll hit the breaking news and then hit the defense?
Sounds great.
You guys want to do that? Let's just go around by positional groups. We'll pass it around the room. I'll start with the quarterbacks. Badge go running backs. AC pick tight ends or whatever, and we'll just keep rotating from there if you guys want to do it that way. Obviously quarterbacks, Mitch, Foles. Those two are the ones who made the 53. Tyler Bray with the basically the COVID rules this year, if we want to call them that. We now get 16 players are allowed on the practice squad. I believe 4 of them can be veterans. So guys who were not eligible to make the practice squad in previous years are now eligible because of the COVID rules. So don't be surprised if you see Tyler Bray hit the practice squad again, even though he had no eligibility left this year. And then Mitch and Foles. Mitch and Foles are the 1-2. Obviously, they're probably the 1-1, with a little spice in between, and who knows. But those are the 2 quarterbacks we got going into this year. Everybody says how the contract that, whatever. Dude, one of them's making $6.6 million. The other one's making like 4.5 or whatever the hell it is. So not anything horrible. Have you seen some of these contracts come out? Not anything horrible when you're talking about 2 guys who I believe are viable starters. I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but I think they're both starter caliber in the NFL, and they can get the job done, enough to put W's on the board. So I don't think it's really any surprise from any Bears fan or fandom there that those two are the two quarterbacks on the 53 going in.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Looking at the running backs, guys, really no surprise here, but I was a little surprised to see Artavius Pierce cut, but I do believe he is brought back to the 53. It's Tariq Cohen, David Montgomery, Cordero Patterson, and Ryan Nall. And Patterson is listed as a running back on this roster.
Yep.
What he's going to bring to the table from that position, you saw what he did in New England when he was on the field with them. I don't think he's going to be an every down running back. I just don't see that being this type of offense. I think he will be thrown in the mix. Was this, Montgomery, obviously, now we know he's dealing with a groin issue. To me, and I said this last night on the fantasy show, it looks to me like he is possibly healthy enough to play next week. Otherwise, I felt like they would have kept an extra running back now. Who knows? We'll see. To me, I think if Montgomery isn't you're going to see Tariq get a bulk of the carries and Patterson get a bulk of the carries. I would love to see Ryan Nall get some action. I've always enjoyed Ryan Nall. I feel like he's a good player, and I really feel like if called upon, I really think he could really make an impact on this team offensively.
I think this is one of probably, I won't say one of, but this is probably one of the positional groups that has some Bears fans, I won't say confused, but has the concern. Yep, look at that. Right as I said it, there's a post from Bearlissimo, running back depth is worrying. It is. I mean, you have Montgomery is he actually good enough? Groins are groins, man. The doctor knows what you tell him. It's not like a bone structure or something like that where they can be like, oh no, this, you can't go or anything like that. So the running back depth is definitely worrisome. Pierce being let go to possibly come back to the practice squad is somebody who a lot of Bears fans thought was going to make this squad. So I agree, man. I'm on board with George. It's definitely worrisome. Montgomery's got to come out. Patterson, if this was 2 years ago and Patterson was coming from a New England team that had just played him at running back all year, maybe there'd be some recency bias where people would be okay with him coming here as a running back. But as of right now, I think we got a lot of guys that have potential but haven't actually laid it out on the field and shown, that they can do it. AC, why don't you take the next group, man? Wide receivers or tight ends? Take your pick.
All right. I'm going to jump to tight ends just because I feel like talking about them. I mean, your top two, you got Jimmy Graham and our first draft pick, Cole Kmet. Behind them, you got Demetrius Harris, who we brought in from Kansas City. So I'm excited about our top three tight ends. Behind them, you got J.P. Holtz, who was in some games, he was the only bright spot of our offense last year. And he could play tight end or fullback, so I really like his versatility, and I'm sure the front office likes that as well. And then Eric Saubert.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was a surprise to me.
I got AC skipping on my end. I don't know what you got.
Skipping on my end as well.
Okay, yeah. I'm just going to cut him off and go.
Chatters AC. About him on Twitter.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, I mean, you just seen – I think Saubert's a guy who's stuck around and has the potential to be let go as we bring in some of these other guys that get picked up from other teams that were let go. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it today. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but the Bears already made a move today, picking up another defensive end. So, I mean, we could throw that out there, but let's stick with this 53 for now. But I wouldn't be surprised if Saubert isn't a guy who feels that casualty here lately, in the next couple of days of somebody who gets let go due to other positional groups coming in from other teams. They kept 6 wide receivers. Our boy, Mr. Allen Robinson, the second, Anthony Miller, Ted Ginn Jr., Riley Ridley, Javon Wims, and rookie 5th-round pick Darnell Mooney. No matter who you listen to, no matter what you've seen, Darnell Mooney was a camp champ, man. He was a guy who just showed out at camp. They said that he had like the most targets from both the quarterbacks in camp. Granted, you take Allen Robinson out of some of those practices and he wasn't on the field, but big things hopefully coming this year for Anthony Miller. Hopefully those shoulders are good and ready to go. I mean, he came out his rookie season and blew up the NFL with, I think, 9 touchdowns. And it just seemed like he was always there, always the guy in the red zone. Allen Robinson is Allen Robinson. I don't think not having a contract done yet really affects him. I think he's more mature and more of a veteran presence than to let that affect him. But he is who he is, man. I think he comes out and shows out. And then a lot, expected out of Ridley and Wims this year. We'll see. This is their year. They either step up and start making plays and being part of this offense, or they just become guys that are there. And then as in any year, I think we have depth there. I think we have pieces. Ted Ginn is obviously a great veteran presence to have. I think this dude's been in the league like 15 years, man.
Yeah, dude.
So great veteran presence to have in the league. Great guy to be there. And, to make some dynamic plays. He's still got some turbo in those steps. So, I think it's one of the strongest groups, I believe, and maybe that's just kind of like the home fan believing in, because I don't know that everybody in this league is afraid of other wide receivers that we have on this team, but I think it's a very solid group that the offense has on that side of the ball. I mean,
yeah, without question, the receiver group, I think, to me, is probably my favorite group on this roster, even though I love the tight ends. Offensively, I think I like the receivers just a bit more. Looking at the offensive linemen, guys, they kept 9 offensive linemen. Obviously, your starters are Charles Leno Jr., James Daniels at left guard, Cody Whitehair at center, Jermaine Ifedi at right guard, and Bobby Massey at right tackle. The 4 reserves, Alex Bars. This is a guy I think if any one of these guys messes up, really could find a possible starting role on this roster. Maybe not this season, but the longer he's with the team, I think the expectations for him are pretty high. Rashad Coward, who played right guard for us last year. It's funny, you see things about Coward. I believe he's still in a right guard spot, but I think he can switch over to tackle if needed as well. You have Jason Spriggs, who can play tackle, and then 7th round pick Arlington Hambright made the roster. Now, Lachavius Simmons, the other 7th rounder that they grabbed late, he was a cut. My guess, he's going to be brought back for the practice squad.
Yeah, I think so too.
So that's the offense, guys. We were able to kind of speed through that. So let's get to this breaking news that we have. So, guys, I'm super excited. Bobby knows, AC knows, they're excited as well. We really have some exciting news for you guys, and the news is this. So we have worked out a partnership with Allen Robinson's Within Reach Foundation, and we have some awesome prizes that the Barroom Network is going to be giving away this season, and you can win one of them. And we'll get into all the details of that as it happens. But I've got a little video clip here with some audio from Allen Robinson from when we had him on just a few months ago. And just pay attention to this clip, as you're going to see some pretty nice things that you might get really excited about.
It brings a lot of joy. Again, even like I said, the other day, this initiative that's going on, it's not just something that, I'm personally doing. It's just, trying to get out in front of something, and just getting people together to be able to try to, help help a lot of people out, as a whole, So again, I think that's what it's about. Again, it doesn't really come down to, me, myself, and I. Again, it's just trying to bring everyone together as a community, to be able for everyone to put their resources together, to make some things possible that may not have necessarily been possible without some special awareness or without us, bringing some light to some different situations.
So you saw the balls in that little snippet. Those balls with
Whoa.
with the Badge of Honor logo, Allen's logo, and the Barroom Network logo. We have a dozen of them that we have shipped to the foundation for Allen to sign, and we will be raffling them off throughout the season. So you have an opportunity to win a custom Ball Girl Badge of Honor Barroom Network within reach autographed Allen Robinson football. Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah.
And we're just super excited about this. We had Allen on back in the spring to talk about the foundation. And at that point in time, we started working with them to see if, there were things we could do to help promote their initiative and things along those lines. You will hear Allen on our shows a few times throughout the year as well, which is very exciting. And, once we have the footballs and whatnot, we'll go into detail on how exactly you can win them. But you're going to see a lot from Allen Robinson. Not only from the Barfly Tailgate show, other shows on the network, our website, when we have that up and going. It's a really exciting time here, especially for Allen. His foundation is doing great things, and if you haven't looked into it, I ask that you really, really take a look at what his foundation is doing in the Chicagoland area and the impact that he's making on the lives of children throughout the community. So super excited to be able to announce that. Super excited to help Allen get the word out on his foundation. And, we'll have guests from the foundation on as well when there's events happening. We'll get to speak to Allen. And it'll be nice now that, you guys will be able to see him on video versus, just hearing the audio podcast or the audio of a live show. It'll be great for you guys to be able to see him live and in person with us.
Yeah, hell of a job, Badge, with the Within Reach Foundation. I don't know if you guys know, but obviously with the Badge of Honor and everything, it's a passion that that Ryan has to just basically help himself. Man, he helps the community. He does this himself, and doing the Badge of Honor thing is just a way that he can shine on to other people. But honestly, if there was somebody that should be day in, day out getting a Badge of Honor, it's all the work that Ryan does with the community and the stuff in his surrounding area. And the dude's just constantly on go when it comes to the charity events and that. And for him to partner with Within Reach Foundation, like he said, there's going to be some, I guess you could call it memorabilia, right? There's going to be all kinds of different things that Allen's going to sign, and we're going to get out and raffle off to fans. There's going to be appearances. So how we break them up amongst the shows, we'll see. But there's going to be, appearances on shows, and we know a number right now of how many. But either way, anything could happen. We're dealing with professional athletes here, so anything can happen. But definitely some appearances on the show and across the network. And just for everything, Badge, hell of a job with putting this all together and handling it and getting it done, man. And it's. There's still a lot more to come. I mean, there's other ones out there. There's a lot of exciting stuff, man. And of course, we're biting our tongue a little bit on things that are happening or might come, because none of it's 100% guaranteed yet. But there's a lot of, hey, feel good about this happening or feel good about that happening going on. And, and we'll go from there and we'll see where this brings us. But Within Reach Foundation, obviously you'll see it. There's going to be it's on the bottom line right now. How to go there? It's www.allenrobinson12.org. I mean, it's like the lowest one. This isn't one of those where you have to come in with $100 or whatever. I believe the lowest
No.
one is still $12.
Yeah.
They'll
They'll take anything, guys. I mean, it's yes, like obviously Allen's number is 12. They like to use that as their lowest baseline, but if you donate $1, $2, $3, whatever you can donate, they appreciate it. Myself, Bobby, AC, well, I do a monthly donation. We're all, involved trying to help promote the foundation. There's other players that have foundations as well, and as Bobby mentioned, we're trying to get in contact with them as well. So there's a lot of opportunity here for their foundations to really use us to spread the word through our network, and we hope those players do that. Allen is the first to do that, and we're very excited to have him on.
Hell yeah.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AC.
I would say as long as he doesn't have an action mind, we'll be able to see him this year.
and as you said it was still breaking up. Yeah. Oh, look at what we got here.
Yeah, look who just popped up on the screen.
The fireman, Mr. Defender of Freedom out there putting down fires and helping the cause. Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings. KB is joining us. KB, we kind of gave you a little intro earlier. We know you're out there doing your thing, man. And working them shifts and just another dude sacrificing and doing it for the community. KB, what's up, brother?
Going on, fellas, man. I appreciate that intro, man. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to make me sound like I'm better than what I am. I'm just another guy. But how my boys doing this morning, man? Your boy's a late arrival, man. What's going on with you boys?
Whoops, we went through the offensive side of the 53. We took our little break in between the offense and defense and let everybody in the chat and everybody know that that we're about the partnership with the Within Reach Foundation, that Alan's going to be coming on the shows, that there's going to be all kinds of stuff, involved for them. We're about to, you guys want to hit cuts now and then do the defense, or you want to do the defense and then do cuts after?
Well, why don't we hit the defense and then we'll hit the cuts?
All right. Well, defensive side of the ball. AC, I'll let you start this one, and KB, you just pick up after him. AC, take it away.
I'll give it a shot, see how it works. I'm going to go with the defensive line. The obvious ones are Akeem Hicks and Bilal Nichols. Obviously, we had Eddie Goldman, who opted out due to COVID. Badge, your boy Roy Robinson Harrison's back. And
he ain't my boy.
John Jenkins, who was a guest on one of our shows in the past. And then Brent Urban, who we picked up from the Titans last year. He's stuck on the squad. So that's your defensive line and the depth. I think we're really going to miss Eddie Goldman. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go after another nose tackle. Yeah. They did say that Bilal Nichols did okay at practice in that spot, so maybe they're more comfortable with that D-line than I am. I mean, I like Hicks and Nichols and Roy Rob, I guess, but
you guess, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. So, all right. So, my favorite spot of this defense is the defensive line. In all honesty, I mean, to me, Akeem Hicks, this guy, not only does he make an impact on the field, but his voice makes an impact no matter where he is. And I think this guy pushes these other defensive linemen to his level. He wants them to be there. I think Bilal stepping in to take over for Eddie Goldman is huge. I really believe in Bilal Nichols. I have since his rookie season. And with that, I mean, RRH, he's gonna have to step up. This is his chance here to really show what he's capable of. I mean, that's a big dude right there. And to me, I took some heat for it last season. To me, I didn't think he showed up enough personally. Like, did I think he showed up enough to earn a 1-year deal? Absolutely. And that's what he got. But he wasn't a guy that I thought we should invest in a multi-year contract with, to me, because I just didn't see him enough, personally speaking. Was he in on some plays? Absolutely. But to me, a guy that size should be showing up all the time. And he's got that opportunity now. And I really hope we see him. Johnny Jenkins, I love John Jenkins. I was happy that the Bears brought him back. And I thought Brett Urban came in last season and did a phenomenal job for us in the reps that he got. So I'm really excited for this defensive line. And I hope they really make a big impact here. And I really think they will. And Akeem's going to lead that charge, KB.
Oh yeah, he definitely is, man. I mean, you look across the D line, and honestly, there are no surprises. It's kind of the usual suspects with them right now. Just missing Eddie Goldman, yeah, that's gonna hurt. And you had somebody out there like Snacks Harrison that I know a lot of people were talking about us going to get. It was a little shocking, but like you said, man, we might be a lot more comfortable with this D line than what people think. And hearing about what was going on with Bilal Nichols destroying the O line and camp from just watching the reports on Twitter and whatnot, man. You got to expect that they probably are very comfortable with the three they got. They're going to be starters. You know what I'm saying? I'm guessing that's going to be Akeem Hicks, Nichols, and more than likely Harris. So
that's what I think too. I think that's 100% what I think, KB. I'm right there with you, man. I believe that those are going to be the three that do start. So, we've got a week to wait to find out.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you take linebackers, KB?
Oh man, this one to me was interesting, man. This is real interesting to me. Yeah, I mean, you kind of look at that as the usual suspects as well. You got Iggy, you got Roquan, you got Danny, you got Josh Woods. I'm excited to see because I'm a Josh Woods fan. I'm happy that he made the roster. He finally cracked that final 53. And he's looking to be, what I'm saying, an actual contributor this year. Because we got two dudes. I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to have to knock on wood, but we got to get Danny T through a whole season. We got to get Roquan through a whole season. Hey, one of them go down, man. It could be Josh Woods sitting there, you know what I'm saying, coming as a starter. So, I'm happy that his growth has led him to the final 53. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little troubling that the depth that we have is what it is.
Yeah.
It's Joel and it's Josh. Like saying, I don't want to say that I'm knocking them, but you had somebody kind of like my man's that played for the Giants last year. What's his name? A Georgia cat that's been in the league for a few years. A very, very overrated linebacker, but he could have probably been a very good backup coming off the bench. Name is escaping me right now.
Not Alec Ogletree, who they just had in.
Ogletree. Yeah, Ogletree. Yeah. To me, he would have been a smart pickup just to bring in as a third guy, fourth guy. Am I mad that they didn't go out and get him? No. Like I said, I'm happy to see that they're with the growth of Joel and Josh. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, that's where I'm standing at with the linebackers right now, man. It's you got your very, very top heavy, then you got your two unknowns at the bottom.
I think we definitely need some more linebacker depth, man. And I mean, even the guys at the top. I mean, you got Roquan, this dude was a top pick for us. He's quietly been good, but has he been, position wise pick good? A couple of things here and there, right? I just think that there's not enough confidence behind Danny, and I won't say Roquan making it through the season, even though he's had his freak injuries, but these guys making it through the season. I mean, Kwiatkowski and KPL stepped up last year, man. I mean, those dudes came in and stepped up and brought it, and were really like a saving grace for this defense. So to not have guys like that behind them that could actually do this and keep it going, I think we might see some moves made today.
Without a doubt, dude.
Yeah, to where there's some more depth brought in here. And then again, you got practice squad, and this season, this shotgun kind of start to a season, and without being able to figure everything out and move them here and there, right? There might be some positions. I mean, if you guys look, I know we'll go over the DBs, but we kept a lot of damn DBs. And you might see some more grading, and I know it sucks to say, but it's going to be some live game grading and see who stays and who goes, because there was no preseason. There was no judgment phase for this to happen. So you might see a lot of these guys kind of, get moved in and out, and a lot of transactions and moves made during the season.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Bobby. I just, without having games for some of these guys to play in, it's hard. It's hard to go off of what you're seeing in training camp and practice. Some guys take practice to the next level and you see it. Some guys you're like, they're only there on game day. It shouldn't be that way, no, but unfortunately that's the way it is. We'll move to the outside linebackers here, and I mean, to me, you've got two of the top outside linebackers in the NFL in Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn. I know ESPN just the other day just released a story knocking Mack, saying he's going to have another down year. Khalil Mack is motivated. He is very, very motivated, and I feel bad for the 16 other quarterbacks that we have to face this season, because they're in for a round of hurt when it comes to Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn. Barkevious Mingo was signed this offseason. James Vaughters has been with the Bears now. I think this is going on year 3. And then Trevis Gibson, the rookie draft pick, makes the final 53. And I'm excited for this youngster. I mean, look who he's got to sit behind and learn in Mack and Quinn. Yeah. I mean, what a scenario for him.
Yeah, and he came out with the celebratory tweet last night. Like, I don't know what it said word for word, but it was something, like, praise God, made it to the 53. He's just brings a lot, man. I think he's gonna come in here and be a definite, a good, spot piece to come in there and get a couple reps here and there and go. And like you said, I mean, the leadership in front of him and the way that, some of the players were saying last year that Mac was actually teaching and taking the time to instruct. I think that's perfect for him to get in there. And then, to get some of the breather plays, to get some of the little spot fills here and there, and, see where we go from there, man, and see what happens. Probably one of the most solid piece on the defense, I think, right? I mean, without question. I mean, that front seven is just straight ridiculous,
fire, dude.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this isn't the most solid group on the defense, but it's definitely the most electrifying group on the defense. That defensive line gets in there and they do it, man. And they're just in the trenches. Like, everything starts, we all know, everything starts at the line of scrimmage. Those dudes in the trenches just get it. I'm not sure if can Goldman come back if he wanted to, or is it when it starts at it?
I'm not sure what the rules are with that.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I don't think he can play this season at all.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was by the first game or not, or whatever. I know that there's a whole contract thing where then they carry it to the next year and this and that. They get paid a certain amount. But I'm not sure if he can even come back. What a time though. Like let's just speculate. I mean, we'll get to the cornerbacks and the safeties here in a minute, but let's just for randomness, right? You're on the Bears. You decide this year that you're going to sit out for COVID. This pandemic, whether you think it's fake or not, fuck, whatever. You're concerned with it, right? And you decide to sit out. The Bears run and make a deep playoff run, possibly holding trophies and shit. How does that affect you as a player if you weren't on that squad when you basically it was up to you whether or not you made it?
Well, I mean, if you're an NFL player, I feel like you're gonna hold yourself to that high standard anyway. So you're just gonna say, well, we pulled up trophies last year. When I come back, it's only gonna be that much better. You know, I mean, that's how I would think I would look at it. I don't know though. I'm no NFL player.
Right. Like I said, man, to me that's a heart hurter, man. You sit there and you watch your boys go through it, and I get why he did it. You know what I'm saying? My cousin is doing the same thing. He opted out this year, so you watch your boys go through the war in the trenches, man, and you start to see them doing good, whether even if they're doing bad, you always had that same feeling of, man, I wish I was out there with them. So I mean, as a player, that I can understand that point. He's gonna have some feelings about this, especially if they're doing good. He's gonna have feelings about this because he's gonna know if he was out there, damn, I could have made this 10 times better. We
Right.
could be destroying people even more. But I mean, he made the decision based on his health. I mean, you know what I'm saying? As a family man, I understand that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody who has a family member that's in the league that did the exact same thing, I understand. You got to do what you got to do to protect you and your family. And if you got asthma, man, if you do get it, you know what I'm saying, that could be a death sentence. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and players who opt out cannot come back. They're done by that deadline. They're done for the season. I know George just put it in there, but I just pulled it up. The whole basic rules to it. So yeah, they're done for the season. Which is fine, man. I mean, hey, it's a choice, and it's what they decided to do. So I think ultimately, does it provide other players with the ability to make a roster? Of course. There's gaps, there's holes. So could see a lot of, maybe some stars born this year due to the fact that COVID happened. And hopefully for some people it's a benefit, to be getting more playing time this year or actually making a roster. All right, let's go with the cornerbacks. There was 11 total defensive backs kept. Corners, obviously Kyle Fuller, who supposedly has been just a badass. Just doing it all through camp and that. You've heard nothing but good things. Next, we got the rookie second-round pick, Jalen Johnson. Rookie fifth-round choice, Kendall Vildor. Buster Screen and Duke Shelley. Duke was somebody who we weren't really sure that was going to make it, man. There was a lot of talk back and forth about him not doing so hot during camp and during that. And of course, we've had him on the show before. I message back and forth with him. I know Badge messages back and forth with him every now and then. I won't say that he ever said that he was scared of whether or not he was going to make it, but there was obviously some concern there. But right now he's in. He's made the roster. Buster Screen was just, I thought he was going to make it no matter what. Jalen Johnson is going to be a stud, I think. The way this dude carries himself and the energy and just, the kind of leadership that he's already displayed in his interviews and that, I think he's an up and coming just stud in the NFL, not just on the Bears, but NFL all around. And then fifth round choice, Kendall Vildor. Vildor made it. Vildor was obviously on the opposite end of some good plays during camp. He got smoke checked twice. I know he shut down some big name, Jerry Jeudy. I know he shut down some big name wide receivers in college, but as of right now, he's been, if you look at some of this tape from camp and that, and some of these big plays that the Bears did have, or just that the Bears put up. He might have had some big plays in camp and we just didn't see him. But he's on the bad end of some of those plays.
Yeah.
So he's getting toasted. Double moves. He's biting. I don't know if there was a pump fake because you couldn't see that side of it, right? You can only see where he was. But he got roasted, man. Granted, I think for him right now, it's how he plays on special teams and him being a pick. This year pick, and we haven't really got to see a lot of him yet, and what they think he's going to be able to do on special teams is what kept him on the spot. I know we said we'll get the cuts. We'll get the cuts before we go to special teams. But there were some big cuts from this position, man. From this position group, there were some cuts. There were some fan favorites that were let go. There were some guys that, that's how the city of Chicago is, man. You know how we are. You know how the Thomas Ives, you get a lot of these guys, the Gentry. You get a lot of these guys that people just, they love the underdog, and they love it's just the blue collarness of Bears fans, and they love some of these long shot guys. And unfortunately, some of them, they were let go from this position group. We'll hit on safeties. Let's throw it over to KB. KB, you tracking on the 53 for safeties? We'll hit on.
I'm I'm just checking it out.
Okay.
Just checking it out, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's safety depth is kind of another concern to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. You got Deion Bush, you got Sherrack. Man, I'm butchering
Sher-
Sherrack's name. Sherrick
Sherrick
McManus.
McManus.
I'm
There you
sorry,
go.
butchering it. You it's not that much depth behind your two starters with Eddie Jackson and you know what I'm saying, assuming Tashawn Gibson. You got Deion Bush, Sherrack, Sherrick McManus,
Yeah.
uh,
Deshaun Gibson.
DeAndre Houston Carson. It's pretty much the usual suspects, man. And yeah, you know, our boy was released again, man. If there was a way you could bring him back, haha.
Yeah. Haha
I
did get
mean,
cut.
yeah, that's a scary one. Somebody goes down, then you got what you got.
You got Deion Bush trying to hold it together again. Yeah, safety, like he said, man, I got the same concerns behind our starters. Who do we got? And corner, I know you touched on it, but my biggest thing was Duke Shelley and Kevin Tolliver. I thought it was going to go the other way. I mean, we was talking about Kevin Tolliver with Jalen Johnson as the number 2 corner with
Yeah.
that position battle. I mean, I didn't expect them to. I guess we can jump into cuts now. I didn't expect them to cut Kevin Tolliver when he didn't win that battle. I mean, he at least provided depth.
Yeah, that's the big shocking thing because I mean, you look at the corner room. It kind of seems like we got 3 nickel corners and you know two outside corners with the rookie and Fuller, man.
Right. And Jalen
Vildor's more.
Johnson has that history of injury, so why wouldn't you want to have a good depth person behind him? Unless
Yeah,
they see Duke Shelley moving outside. I don't know.
I, that's got to be what it is. You either looking at Buster, who I mean, he's had his time where he's been an outside corner. You looking at Duke, who was primarily an outside corner when he was in college. But you look at the height factor. I mean, I'm not going to take a shot at nobody's height. Tim Jennings was one of my all-time favorite corners for the Bears.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The dog in that man was ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe you get that type of fight from Vildor or you know what I'm saying, Duke. You know what type of person Duke Shelley is. Buster Screen's just you know what I'm saying, he's the all-time consummate pro. You know what I'm saying? You see what you get with him. He's gonna be solid and he's gonna have his off days. So, but just the length factor that we got right now it's hey, we got 2 guys that are decent height. 5'9" below. So it's Touche just said we're signing Mario Edwards.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that was we sent that out this morning. We kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier on the show, but Mario Edwards, a big pickup from the Saints as well. I don't know about a big pickup, but the Saints cut him, which also means that we're gonna have to get rid of somebody on our roster right now. I think it's gonna be probably Sauerbraun. It's gonna be somebody from I don't know, man, but we'll take a look. Besides speculating on that, I think there's gonna be more moves. There's gonna be more guys that go. Bringing Edwards in, somebody has to get cut off for the 53 now.
Yeah. With him, yep.
There could have been. I mean, I'm sure they planned for this, right? I'm sure they just that this was something that they're like, hey, well, we're gonna need some help here, so if we keep one of these or one of those, whatever. But it just sucks, man, for guys to find out yesterday, right? That I made the 53. Here we go, like like whatever, and then today, like you're like, you know, sitting whatever, you're eating breakfast, and it says Bears have signed, da da da. And every person who had any doubt that's on that squad are like, fuck.
Yeah.
Is it me? You know what I mean? And who knows? But it has to be somebody, you know?
Yeah.
So somebody's gonna have to go. Well, you guys wanna roll into?
Let me bring this up too. Marquis Christian, who made the roster as well, has a 2-game suspension. So right now he is not on the active roster. So right now you can get away with that. So maybe it's 2 weeks before we see them make a cut or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely, and you know what? Everywhere you look, I started looking the other day, but everywhere you look, it doesn't really. I couldn't find where it says why he's suspended. There was like 4 different platforms. It just says that he's got a two game suspension. I know that I think the Jets signed him in March, and then turned around and let him go again. And then we picked him up, but there's nothing stating the reasoning for it. Let me look in the chat. Maybe some of these guys got it, but I just don't know exactly why he's got the 2 game suspension. But either way, you're right. That's just another guy who, once he comes back week 2, somebody's going to have to be let go. But honestly, if I was the guy at the bottom of the 53, right, and I would at least want the 2 weeks to prove that I should be on this team, then the
day after.
Yeah, then the half-ass camp and the whatever to turn around and say, well, maybe this guy can go.
Yeah.
So I just think it's tough, man. But for some of these guys, I feel like there's going to be a revolving door from the practice squad on some of these positions. And we'll see how our practice. I think our practice squad is going to tell us a lot of where they think our strengths and weaknesses are on this team. Sure. I don't think you're going to see what you normally see with the kind of every position fill in the thing here and there. I think you're going to see it beefed up in certain places or not because of the lack of preseason and the ability to carry additional players this year and go into it from there. Special teams are easy. Pat O'Donnell, Eddie Pinheiro, and Patrick Scales. Eddie Pinheiro is still facing he's still got an injury right now. I don't think they've actually, I know they said he made the 53, but all the reports kind of say that it's a possibility that he will not play in the first game. And if he doesn't, you'll see him, I think, waived, cut. You'll see old Carlos, old fucking
Carlos Santo.
Yeah. You'll see old John Fox's boy come up, I think, and Eddie sit back. But I don't think that that's really a competition. I think I think Cairo Santos is just to fill in, and he knows that once Eddie's ready to kick again, that his ass is done. And then cuts. We can get into these cuts right now.
I got the list right here, Bobby, if you want.
Yeah, go ahead, hit it.
So
Sure.
Steven Denmark, Lachavius Simmons. We also had Artavius Pierce, Dieter Iceland, Bandera Treyon, Trayvon McSwain, LaCal London, Rashad Smith, Ladarius Mack, and then you had Rodney Adams, Thomas Ives, Reggie Davis, Sam Mustipher, and Xavier Crawford, all released. So Mustipher is somebody I also see coming back. Ives, from reports, it sounds like the Bears are very high on Thomas Ives. He's a guy I definitely could see brought back to the practice squad. Ladarius Mack is another one. Dieter Iceland is another one. Artavius Pierce. And then obviously they're going to look around too at other cuts teams have made as well. So, you may see guys from other rosters that have been released popped on the practice squad or whatnot. So there's just a few, or those are the cuts the Bears have made. Those are a couple of my thoughts that I could see sticking around on the practice squad.
Yeah, I think so. Dieter Iceland was one of the ones that I think it's just if you've seen any of the tape or you've seen any of that, it's just a dude who kind of brings that mentality of fighting in the trenches and just nasty style. You know what I mean? So yep. I kind of wanted to see him make it. As for like Ladarius Mack, if he's like showing something and he's showing that his ceiling's higher than just being Khalil's brother, okay. But if he's just kept around because of, oh, well, they're brothers and Chicago seems to like that we're doing this and whatever, I'd be pretty upset about that. I think it's, whatever.
I was gonna say, word out of camp was that he was a physical specimen. He was a lot better than what people had thought he was. They said his work ethic was damn near Khalil Mack's level of work
Good.
ethic. So I don't like I said, I'm one of them of the minds that they didn't sign him just because he was Khalil Mack's brother.
Yeah.
I do think that, I'm not gonna lie, that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you put on the tape and you watch this kid play. The kid's played for like 2 years.
Yeah.
He's raw as shit, but he damn near had the same production as a Travis Gibson.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot of possibilities there. If they can keep him on the practice squad and get him to grow.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt that Khalil's his older brother. I mean, you can learn a lot, from him, and now he's got Robert Quinn there as well. Barcavius Mingo's got a lot of experience, as we talked about him, earlier. So there's definitely opportunity for Ladarius Mack to improve on his game as well.
Yeah, and I think for sure today we'll see, some cornerback. A DB brought in here. Maybe a safety, but I'm betting more that another corner is going to be brought in here to be put on the squad to make the 53. So you'll probably see somebody else go away.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess they're comfortable with the running back position.
Just looking at it.
Yeah, I guess they're comfortable with it. And I mean, in our fantasy draft that we did last night, I picked up Cordell Patterson at the very end of the draft. It was actually post-draft while the show was over, and we were just kind of BSing, and he was still sitting there. So, I mean, if the Bears don't make a move, I made a move to go ahead and grab him, and go from there. And we'll see, man. I mean, maybe they're confident in what they have. Maybe they're really confident in Patterson and Null. Maybe Null has made these steps to where they believe he's a bruiser. I don't know how you guys feel. I don't see Null really in a fullback role. I mean, I think he can sit there, but I don't think he has the fullback grit to him. I think I
like JP Holtz in that role.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if he is playing there, I think that it's not most beneficial to the squad, but the running back room is definitely a question. Too. Go ahead.
You know who I didn't see listed there was Jesper Horsted. He was a cut as well.
Horsted was a cut.
Yeah. I don't know if I skipped over it or
no, he was cut.
Yeah,
maybe that's a guy they're looking to bring back for the practice squad or something.
More than likely.
Yeah, I don't. He's not in their article on their site here, so kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, I think you need to check your source.
Well, I got to check the Chicago Bears then.
Do your research. No, I'm kidding.
Do your research.
Yeah. So I mean, opening week, right? We're 7 days away from opening week. We got the Lions next week. We got a Lions team that, depending on what you look at, either people say they're the same old Lions or no, not this year. They're gonna whatever, right? I think the NFC North is the strongest division right now. I think that they have. It's almost getting back to the black and blue division, right? To where the defenses are just strong. And I don't see the Lions really being whatever. I know Stafford puts up a lot of stats. I know he does well, but I don't see the Lions being too dangerous. And then I think the Lions game will show a lot, though. Will show who's ready to play. I see it kind of going in a feel-out process where they and unfortunately, this is what I think, that it's going to kind of look like a preseason game. You're going to see a lot of penalties. You're going to see a lot of guys not knowing when they're supposed to be on the field or where they're supposed to be. There's going to be a lot of rust getting kind of knocked off. Yeah. And then you take the fans out of it, man, and it's going to look just weird. I don't know if any of you guys seen any of the college games yesterday. We were kind of talking about it last night, but it's just going to look weird. But I think you're going to see a lot of mistakes, a lot of wrong routes, a lot of stuff that should have been fine-tuned, that would have been fine-tuned by now. and hopefully for the sake of players on both sides of the ball, no matter what team they're on, the one thing you don't see is a lot of injuries. Hopefully they got their bodies right and had enough time to do that. But I think this game's going to look weird this year, man. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think it's going to look like a weird game.
I think you're right. You're right on, hit the nail on the head. I think it's going to be league wide too. Week 1 is going to be a shit show, for lack of a better word. You're going to have guys jumping off sides, guys not ready. Hopefully we can adapt and overcome. But I am excited for football to be back. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, guys, that week 1 may be a little bit of that tune-up, but I also think week 1 is a chance. I mean, let's be honest here. Over the past few years, week 1, the Bears really haven't blown anybody's socks off. I mean, and saying I can take that back. I mean, probably to 2010, in all honesty. And to me, this is a season, and I hate using this term, we got to come out and punch people in the mouth because it's so overused. But if this team is going to be anything of what we all as fans can hope for, they need to come out and knock the Lions out. Bottom line.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, on the flip side of all this, right? And I know like Bears that is just said, a preseason game that counts. Exactly right, man. The thing right here would be that the team that comes in and they're actually ready, the team that comes in and they're oiled up, they got all their little kinks out, you know what I'm saying? And maybe not the contact piece, because the contact piece is going to come, but I think the one that comes in, somebody can come out and go 3-0, like start off the season 3-0 before other teams even have shit running right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And even have it going together yet. So you might see some teams come out and they're just, bam, bam, bam. They come out 3-0 and then you see this dip, and it's the same for players too. You might see players who come out and they're just on fire. And then once everybody else starts getting back up to where they're supposed to be, they kind of sizzle out or they pan out a little bit. So I think that the beginning of the season, nothing can really be set in stone. Like, you can get a team that comes out and be like, man, our team's awesome this year, and then once the balance starts happening around the NFL, then you kind of see where it goes from there. But schedule wise, right, Bears open up against the Lions, and then week 2 we got the Giants.
Yeah.
So if there's 2 teams that you kind of want at this point of the season, with everything kind of uncertain, I'll take the Lions and the Giants.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Sounds great to me. Let's get this 2 teams.
Sounds like 2-0, baby.
Yeah, that are always kind of questionable and go from there. But Bears fans, I mean, some of our friends and family, if this team comes out 2-0, people are going to be talking Super Bowl playoffs.
Oh, God.
No, Lord.
Yeah. we gotta rein in.
We always count the Giants as a W, and somehow they always either give us a good game or beat us. It seems like.
Yeah, we got our boy in the chat, man. Game 6. He says, shout out to Bears Bar and Bobby Bombs. Game 6. I don't know if you guys know. Get over to Twitter. Follow this dude. Game 6. Let me look up exactly what he is, but he's been making some good bets. I know who he is. I don't know if he wants it known who he is, but he's got some good bets out there, man. He's been doubling up some stuff. I mean, I wouldn't take that Bears 16-0 bet. I mean, that's pushing it. But he's a great dude. I know him personally. A couple of you guys have met Badge. You've met him. I'll tell you in our little private chat who he is. But
no doubt,
I'm not sure if he wants it to be known who he is. But either way, a lot of good stuff come from him. I'm trying to go through some of these, comments here. We got at one point had 40-some people in the chat room. We're over 30-something right now. Trying to see if these guys got any input or anything they want to say.
I just want to read what Ravi Come Up says, as he wants the Bears to follow through on blowouts. I mean, I want to see some of the like the Tampa Bay game where Mitch threw 6 tutties. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see some of that. I'm hoping that this team and this offense finally has a decent season where we're averaging over 25, 30 points a game. Not, 15, 18. None of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's every wish, right? That's every team's wish.
It's a dream.
That's every player's.
It's a dream in Chicago.
Yeah, it's every player's. It's every fan's wish. Like, I want to see my team put up 25, 30 fucking points a game. Like, yeah. In all reality, though, stacking W's. It's a tough schedule this year, man.
Very, man.
I mean, you look at some of these teams, it's definitely a tough schedule this year. I mean, if we want, I don't know if you guys are prepared. I know we didn't talk about it, but if you want to go into like a schedule prediction, or do you just want to go in? Let's go quarterly. Let's go quarterly. Let's take the first 4 games. AC, I'll give you a little prep time, but I'm going to start with you.
Awesome.
Let's go with the first 4 games. I believe it's Detroit, the Giants, Atlanta, and Tampa. I think
Colts.
Colts. Yeah, Colts comes after Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then so let's go with those games. So you got Detroit, you got the Giants, you got hot Atlanta, and then you got Indianapolis. AC, over to you, man. What you think?
Well, I mean, Mitch owns Detroit. He was named the starter, so I'm going to take that dub there. And even though I just said we sleep on the Giants, I'll take that dub as well. We'll see what Danny Dimes can do this year. The Falcons is really hard. Our defense is great, but their offense is loaded. I mean, with Ridley and Julio and Todd Gurley, it's the early in the season, so his knees are still good in that game. But at the same time, their defense isn't great. I mean, that's going to be a 50-50 game to me to show us where we're really at. And then the Colts, you got Phillip Rivers learning a whole new system he's never been in before. Or I think he has been in that system, but he's learning it again at his age. And that's another 50-50 game. I feel like it helps, honestly, not having fans there. Is that in Chicago or is that in no, it's in Chicago. So disregard that.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, if they're in the Dome, you're going to hear all those crazy Colts fans, but there's no fans. So I've got 2 wins and 2 50-50 games that could go either way. The defense is going to have to play really well week 3 against the Falcons. And then week 4, it's going to be, I mean, you got Phillip Rivers. You just got to hit him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that week 4 games. It's a good, I would say, grading point of this team, right?
Well, the Colts to me have the best or the second best offensive line in the league.
Yeah,
so that'll be a great test for our D line and Mac and Quinn.
Yeah, definitely, man. Badge, over to you, brother. What do you think? What's your quarter? And if you're in the chat right now, go ahead. Let me pull up the chat real quick. But if you're in the chat right now, let us know what you think the first 4 games. Oh, let me do this real quick. So game 6, he says it's all good. Go for it, Bobby. So game 6, that's actually Tyler Ellis, the games report. That's his brother. That's Jordan.
Oh, okay. That's yeah.
That's Jordan Ellis. Jordan actually joined us all at the Bears Giants game up in I would say New York, but it's in Jersey.
Yeah.
Up in Jersey a few years back. I've chatted with Jordan a lot, back and forth, and great dude. And I don't know if he's always been on this gambling thing, and maybe he just didn't want to say it, but this dude, he's been putting up some like receipts, like bet on this game, that game, and this is what he won. And he's been putting up some big receipts, man, and some big parlay payouts coming off of I would say little investment and some big payouts. So Jordan, appreciate you joining us in the chat this morning, man. Bears Edits is going with a 3-1 start for the Bears. He's saying a tight game, but an L versus Atlanta. And Chubbs is going 4-0. Chubbs, you're not a 4-0 guy, Chubbs. Chubbs is probably like one of the realest dudes that we have that joins the shows and is in the chats. And I really don't believe that Chubbs believes that it's a 4-0 start. I think he just put something there. Chubbs, I don't know. Let me know if that's really what you think. But I think Chubbs is like one of the realest dudes that we normally have in the chat. Badge, I'll kick it over to you, man. Predictions, first quarter of the season. Hit it.
Yeah, I'm saying 3-1. I think they beat the Lions. I think they beat the Giants, the Falcons. I think there's a loss there. I hope they prove me wrong. But then I think the Colts are going to be far overrated. Quite honestly, I think they smoke show the Colts. I just don't think Phillip Rivers does nothing for me at all. And I mean, if you look at last year, I mean, great. I'm glad he's there. We'll pick him off 6-7 times and hopefully return 4 of them for touchdowns. I'm not Trey Burton leaves the Bears and goes to the Colts. He's injured already. So they've got really Jack Doyle at tight end, who is also injury prone. T.Y. Hilton, I like T.Y. Hilton, but he has nagging injuries every little bit. The running game could be decent with Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack. Their offensive line is great. There's a guy there, Quentin Nelson. I'm not sure if anybody in the chat's ever heard of him, but but I mean, if maybe Rivers will be different with time to throw. I don't know. I didn't think Los Angeles' offensive line was all that bad, and there were some balls he was just throwing up. I don't know, just because he thought he saw something. I don't know. Maybe he was having that Sam Darnold problem last season, but
he's that gunslinger mentality.
Yeah, man. I just 3-1. I see this team coming out these first 4 games. Obviously injuries are going to play a big part. If one of our big pieces goes down, things could turn sour very quickly. So we've got to hope that we're healthy and maintain that all season.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. For me, I honestly think that there is a possibility that they start off 4-0. I mean, you have the Lions, right? The Lions could be, honestly, a game that we lose just because we're not ready yet. But I would say we could drop that game to the Lions. Now, the Falcons have kind of, I mean, you still got Matt Ryan, right? You still got Julio, but the Falcons, I believe, are, they've been 7-9 the last 2 years. They're like 25th in points allowed, 26th in yards. Like, if we're hitting by the time that we get to that game, right? If there's some continuity in this offense, I think we can put up a lot of damn points against them. And then the Giants are just the Giants. If Saquon finds a way to tear through us, then we're screwed. But otherwise, Daniel Jones is the second-year starter coming through. Shepard, you got at wide receiver, but who knows? Yeah, I kind of agree with Devon Phillips that the Lions might be the toughest game that we have in these first 4 games. And then the old man Rivers at the Colts. You got old man Rivers over in Indianapolis, and I don't know that. I mean, I know that the dude's smart. I know that he's always been good at quarterback. He's always been above average, I would say, no matter what. But I don't know that his mind is wrapped around what the Colts want him to do yet. Like in a system for that many years and then having to come over and do a new system. I get you can be smart and you can be great, but the system sometimes is what makes you great. Right. Being in that system and knowing that system like front and back is sometimes what makes you great. And him, having to kind of redo everything and re-baseline his brain and what actually happens when the pressure comes. Can he adjust to knowing the new playbook when there's a fire drill and somebody's coming at you, or is he instinctively going to flip back to where somebody should have been in LA or San Diego or whatever on the Chargers squad? So I think that's another game that we can easily take. So I think we can start 4-0. I think if we drop a game, it's going to be to the Lions, and it's going to just blow up in Chicago because it's going to get blamed on Mitch Trubisky for losing to the freaking Lions, and then this whole quarterback thing is going to get even worse.
I was gonna say that's usually how the story goes, doesn't it?
Yeah, typical Chicago Bears
Chicago
right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Say, just speak my piece, man. I'm saying 3-1. And I'm of the camp. I think we'll beat the Lions. I think it'll be a decent game, but I think we'll beat them. The Giants, like AC said, some reason they give us a tough time, but we'll find a way to beat them. I'm more concerned about that offense in Atlanta. That's a lot of weapons, man. The NFC South this year is
that's a good
going
division.
to be a heavy fucking load.
Yeah.
I mean, the one team you might actually be able to sit down and say with the Panthers is that they don't necessarily have the firepower, but they have that great man CMC. So, but if you look across everybody else, the Saints are stacked. The fucking Buccaneers just get every goddamn body apparently, and
they got
Falcons
20.
So so I'm gonna pay the Falcons their respect, man. I believe that's gonna be a tough game. Just off top, that's gonna be a tough game, and I think we found a way to beat the Colts. I don't think the Colts have enough that they would actually get, like, if we got into a shootout, they'd be able to beat us.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, man, I just started laughing. It's like somebody was getting beat over there. Like you had a damn Colts fan in the background that just couldn't handle the fact that you're saying the Colts are going to get destroyed. And I think, for looking through the chat here, man, it looks like everybody's kind of on the same thing. You got a couple people, 3-1, 3-1. You got a few 4-0s. I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's like any 2-2s in here or any 1-3s, or anything like that. Because who knows? I'd much more appreciate the fan that kind of like, because me and I think all of us sometimes we buy in.
Oh, I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
I'm an optimist every time. Lady Bear, what up?
Oh, Cherie, she's a 4-0. She's saying 4-0. I don't know why she don't come up in my chat on YouTube.
It looks like it's on Periscope.
Yeah, it's on Periscope.
Oh, that's why. That's why. Very well. Yeah, that would be the Periscope sign in the bottom corner. So, like I'm saying, sometimes I'm just
It's
stupid.
preseason for us.
Sometimes I'm just stupid and I'm bought in for for whatever reason. Lady Barry, thanks for joining us. But I don't know. I think that we're gonna see a good start, but I could actually see them start off with the toughest game against the Lions, and then from there, pick it up and see what happens. I think some guys. Go ahead.
I don't want it to sound like I think we're just gonna blow out the Lions, like just disregard them. I think it'll be a hell of a game, but I feel like in the end, our defense will do something to win the game, and Matt Stafford will do something to not win the game. Matt Stafford has a lot of talent, of talent. He puts up, what is it that Trey called him? Trey Busy?
Stat Pafford.
Stat Patford. That's exactly what he is. If you got him in fantasy, you love the guy, but he ain't never won anything.
Well, here's the other thing, guys. He hasn't really been healthy.
Yeah, and that O-line's not great either.
He hasn't played, since week 8 last year, I believe, I think was the last snap he took. So he's had a long time to rest his body, recuperate. His wife dealing with brain cancer. I'm sure the team allowed him to be away, to help with her. I'm sure he's ready to come out and ball out, but like you said, AC, that offensive line, questionable. They just re-signed Taylor Decker to a 4-year extension. we've all seen the highlight of Khalil Mack running him right over and taking down Stafford. So, I was
Wasn't it
excited to
a
see that he was re-signed.
wasn't it a back issue with Matt Stafford?
It was.
So I mean, those things are random too. I mean, look at what happened with Tony Romo.
Yep.
He started having back issues, and they were like, "Well, he's good to go." And then he goes in, he takes one hit, he's done. You never know with those.
Have you guys
And as a
ever heard
guy,
Artie Lang's one of his CDs where he's like, if you say Tony Romo on acid, Tony Romo. I love me
I
some
have
Artie
no
Lang.
idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, me neither, but hey, yeah, I'm looking through the YouTube chat. You got Devon Phillips thinks that the Bears are going to go 5-0 in their first 4 games. So
Nice.
always winning. Native Wolf was out there. He said divisional games are always iffy. I think divisional games are always worrisome. Yeah, but I mean, you look at it. I mean, Nagy hasn't lost to what, the Vikings or the Lions, and as of
Since
yet,
you've been here. Yeah.
Robbie's in here saying, Stafford, you hit him, he done. You hear
Hey,
stuff.
that's what I just said.
Packers. Oh, Bears at it. Packers not going to be great this year. I agree with him. I think the Packers actually start to come down this year. I think last year they 10-6 maybe.
Yeah,
somewhere.
like that.
Packers, you're talking?
Yeah.
No, they were like 13-3 or
12-4. Yeah, you're right. They were up there
Yeah.
last year. So
Yeah.
I hopefully they come off their horse. That's something that's always needed. Cardboard cutouts and fake crowd noise will undoubtedly feel surreal. Is Tooch is chiming in. I think it's going to be weird, man. Like, I mean, think of all the teams that do the 12th man, that say 12th man, like right?
Yeah, we'll see it Thursday with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean the Chiefs, you got the Chiefs do it, the Seahawks say it. Yeah, and you got a lot of teams that come out, and this is it's a huge disadvantage. But it's also an advantage for teams that aren't
underdogs.
There is no noise. You can literally make corrections and talk on the line, and people are going to hear it. You know what I mean? And so it's just kind of like the coach could scream in from the sideline, scream.
Yeah.
And the players are going to hear it. So I think it's going to be wild, man. I think it's going to be a really different kind of start to everything. I think one of the biggest benefits of all this is going to be able to hear it. Do you know how many times like these channels are going to have to blurt out like,
dude. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be you're going to hear some great stuff that like normally you would hear on Mic'd Up or whatever, but you're going to hear some F-bombs. You're going to hear this, that. You're going to hear all kinds of shit talking being done. And I'm all for it, man. So,
man.
Yeah,
I was gonna say if there was any way we can get that type of XFL feel,
right,
the way
the XFL mic everybody
come over and talk to somebody on the damn. Yes, come over and talk to my man after I just lost somebody. Oh yeah, man. He thought he was gonna go with me, man, and I put my nuts on the back of his head and caught the ball for the touchdown. Hey, I would be here for it 100%.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of good banter this season, and I'm gonna cut it all up. I'm gonna we're just gonna add it. We'll add it as drops. I'm gonna have a drop of somebody talking shit, and you're gonna think it's me yelling at KB about something. But I'm definitely in for it. And I know like there's other guys commenting in the chat room. I mean, there's over 50 some viewers right now. And listeners, we appreciate you guys. It's an early Sunday morning, man, and it ain't even game week.
It's not even game day.
It ain't even game week. So like we said, if you join later on, like we said earlier, we're gonna have a lot of we partnered up with the Within Reach Foundation, Allen Robinson's foundation. We're gonna have a lot of stuff to raffle off. We're gonna have some stuff that's that we're waiting to kind of get back, that's autographed stuff by Alan. Nobody on the Tailgate show plans on keeping it. We plan on giving it all out to you guys. it's gonna come and visit. A couple shows scheduled where he'll be here. We got a bunch of just little stuff that we can do. Badge just said, let's raffle something off today. So, I mean, there's tons of stuff that we can do. So, Badge, if you want to raffle something off, man, you go for it. It's all you.
Yeah, I want to raffle off. So one of Audacia, you'll see that they've been making A-Rob stickers, Eddie Jackson stickers. They're a great company. They do some really good work. I've got an Allen Robinson first down pointing sticker that we're going to give away today. And I just got to figure out, what do you guys think? What do you guys think is the best way to get this sticker out to somebody today? I ordered 10 of them, so I did keep one for myself. Sorry. But so I've got 9 of these, and I've got some Eddie Jackson coming as well. What do you think the best way to raffle this off is? We want to do a trivia question. How do we want to do this?
Yeah, we weren't prepared for this at all.
I'm thinking, since Allen Robinson wears number 12, the 12th person to comment on our YouTube wins the raffle.
Why don't we say the 12th person overall to because we got to give everybody on each platform a chance.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can see all of them. I can only see the YouTube.
All right, so the 12th person to type number 12 in the chat wins the sticker.
You better start popping them up in the thing.
Hey, man. This is going to be fun to watch. Watch the 12 start coming.
I'm waiting. I don't see any as of yet.
I don't see any here on.
Nobody wants to do it.
I think they're a little behind.
That's because they're
so there's our first one.
There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. Oh, there's 5. There's 6.
Here we
there's
go.
7. There's 8. Ooh.
Oh my God, you're seeing them that fast?
Yeah. That's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting closer.
What do you mean closer? We're already done.
No, I'm not.
On YouTube.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So for those of you listening, Badge has
great radio.
Badge has all the streams that we're on right now. He can see the comments in all of them in order.
Yeah.
So he has a main comment page.
I'm lost.
I can see who did it on YouTube, but I can't see all of them.
All right, I'm going to mute myself. You guys keep talking.
Yeah. So basically,
my guy Rob got it.
Basically, when you come, you can't see all the streams though, KB. So
okay.
Through Periscope, through all the different streams that we're on right now, Badge has a screen that basically they all show up in order of as they came from those places. So all this dude really needs to do is be able to count to 12 right now. I don't know.
Ran out of fingers.
All right, so the winner of the Allen Robinson first down sticker is none other than Robert Jones.
Robert Jones.
Robert Jones.
Congratulations, Robert.
Congratulations, man.
What a solid, strong name that man has, too. You know what I'm saying?
Funny story. So Rob is actually one of my old co-workers, one of my guys to play Madden with. So
nice.
Oh, okay.
That's when he got on. I'm like, yo, you listen? What's up, bro?
Hey, Rob. So since you're listening in, shoot me a message on any of your social media platforms. Ryan Badgley on Facebook, at Ryan Badgley 40 on Twitter. You can go to the Barfly Tailgate Instagram account. Send me a message there. Just hit me with your address, man, and I'll get this in the mail for you first thing Tuesday morning.
Yeah, he just said in the chat, thanks guys, appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, it's just something little, man. But like we said, we're gonna have. Last year we did a Khalil Mack jersey. This year we got some signed football, some autographed footballs. We still have a jersey. We can still do a jersey. There's a lot of stuff that we have that we're gonna just toss out there for you guys, and go from there. We got some barroom swag. There's all kinds of stuff that we have that we're going to throw in, and we're partnering up with some other merchandise companies too. So if we can we'll see what we get from them, and maybe either promo codes for actual bear swag or product line codes that you guys are going to be able to use. And if there's something that you're interested in or whatever, I mean, just let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We'll reach out.
Yeah, we'll reach out and try to get it and do it like that. But a lot of big things coming this year. We got some stuff in the works with other players and guys lined up for future shows. So obviously those shows aren't going to be Sunday morning.
Yep.
And nobody's gonna. I mean, they're gonna be getting ready for a game, but we're gonna hit you with some probably maybe Wednesday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night. Honestly, it's gonna be a lot of the other live shows throughout the week are gonna be when that player is available. There's some shows that we'll do during the week that maybe if it's a Thursday or Friday night that we do it, we'll probably just save it and then post it to here Sunday morning. So there's a lot of different ways we can do this, but you might get some pop-up shows here and there if we have somebody that's hopping in and joining us. So, from there, I mean, we're just looking forward to the season, man. Next week's kickoff. Time to get this thing going, fellas.
Yeah, man. I can't wait, fellas. I mean, with COVID and everything going on, this, the lack of information coming out of Bears camp this year was yeah. Oh my God, frustrating. I mean, and not just Bears camp. I mean, I know other teams were publishing videos on the regular. I do like that the Bears have created the 1920 football drive. If you haven't watched that yet, I highly recommend it. There's some interesting stuff there. We're a week away. I am ready, man. I cannot wait to see some live hitting, and I'm just amped, fellas.
Yeah. You were talking about people or other organizations releasing videos and stuff. I watch Hard Knocks, and this year has just been weird without the preseason games. It just shows all the procedures they're going through to stay safe from COVID and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then, everything else going on in the world with all the racial injustices going on and stuff. It's just it's a crazy world we're living in, man. Yeah. But we're 7 days away from live football. I'm ready for it. I'm just I'm just ready to see something, man. Like, we had college football on yesterday. I watched bits and pieces of it. EKU was playing Marshall, getting the crap beat out of them by Marshall. So I literally looked up, it was like 62-0, and I was like, "Woo, that's a football score." I thought Randy Moss came back, right?
Man.
All right, fellas. Well, unless we got nothing else, I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. We
hit them shout outs, Bobby.
I don't know. Oh, well, we got to do a shout out to the Godfather.
Absolutely.
Mr. Happy birthday to the Godfather. It's Aldo Gandia's birthday today. If you have him on any social media, I heard he really likes dick pics. So send them. That was his choice of birthday present. So get those over to him. But obviously, the dude's running things. Just always there, man. Always taking care of stuff. And getting things together this year, man. I mean, at first we thought there was going to be something, but then it just turns out like he just lays it up and hands it to you. So, Mr. Aldo Gandia, we appreciate that, man. And then, we'll get this thing going this season. There's going to be some all across the network. There's going to be different stuff going on. There's new shows coming out. There's new channels. There's Patreon's going to come out for some other bonus coverage stuff. There's stuff going on in the bar room that's just, completely growing. I mean, it's over a couple thousand more over the last few months. I mean, this stuff's ridiculous, man. We appreciate you guys bearing it out with us for this. We're already at an hour and 45 minutes and there's still over 50 people chilling here. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us and doing your thing, man. Shout out to all you guys. We want to keep this thing interactive. You got something you want to talk about, tag us on Twitter, tag us on Facebook, hit us up on Instagram. Just keep the conversation going, man, because
we'll bring you on the show, man. If you got something good, we'll add you to the show, man. You can come on. spill your beans, whatever you got to say. I mean, we may disagree with it, we may not, we may cut you off. You never know.
I mean, to us, this isn't like we don't call it when we say interacting with fans. We're interacting with Bears fans. We're Bears fans. Like, there's no. I think I froze.
Yeah, you're good, man. We can hear you though.
Yeah, I was like, there's no. Well, shit, it's frozen. But it's just fans interacting with fans, man. And all we're doing is providing that spot to do it. So fire away in the chat, like we kind of said last night. No hard feelings, like whatever. As long as you come respectful. If you disagree with the take, disagree with the take. As long as you can. I'm not saying calling somebody an idiot is disrespectful. Call me an idiot whenever you want. I'm just saying you cross the lines that are there as actual human beings and you get a little stupid, then you'll probably be bounced out of the chat. But all in all, man, like everybody can take it. It's just we're going to consider this thing just a bar, and people hop in the chat, hop in the bar. I mean, we could fit up to 10 people in the damn StreamYard. So whatever, man. Don't be surprised if one day we just pull somebody out of the chat and get this thing going. So there's the same person last night in the chat that was trying to get on Joe. But if you're gonna come and talk crap in the chat, come with your real name. Quit trying to hide and be somebody like
pussy.
Fake. Like, yeah, like
I mean, his name means that. So
yeah, that's why.
I mean, there's nothing more like coward than to put up a fake name and talk shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, man.
I just try to ignore it. That's what they want is to put them on the show.
Well, yeah, they just want somebody to talk about them. You guys got anything you want to say? Any shout outs? Anything like that you want to get going?
Happy birthday to Aldo Gandia. Shout outs to my boys. We're back.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, fellas.
Yeah, shout out to all the Barflies that stuck with us through the whole show. It's a hour and 45 minutes and counting of talking about camp and next week. So just salute to all of y'all for real.
Man, yeah. So man, just shout out to everybody, man. It's the season started, baby. We here, man. And we ready to do the damn thing, man. Stick with us. Hey, it's gonna be a strange season with everything going on, things that could possibly happen later on. Just stick with us, man. We're gonna be here for y'all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then Lady Bear gave a little happy birthday out to Aldo. Ravi said shout out to Efren Moreno, my boy. His birthday's September 9th. Somebody else said their birthday earlier was on the Atlanta game. So happy birthday to that person too. You know, whatever.
Happy birthday to my mom from yesterday.
See, there you go. Happy birthday to. Is she a bearded Bears fan also?
No beard on her.
All right, fellas, we're going to wrap this thing up. Thanks to everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. We're coming right back at you next Sunday. We might hit you with something special in the middle of the week. Who knows? Otherwise, stay for it. We'll see this practice squad. We'll see what we got. Pay attention because this Bears team is about to round out in the next couple of days, and we'll be on the field in 7. Appreciate you guys joining us, and everybody will end this with a fat bear down.
Now, baby.
Tailgate! Let's go!
Get your popcorn ready.
Game time, baby. Put your feet up on that coffee table. Yes, sir. Take what's in the fridge.
It's busy day. Gotta get busy today.
Man, I'm excited, man. Another great opportunity. Come on, fly the thing, man.
It's not just a no, it's a hell no.
Hey, what's up? It's Allen Robinson, Tailgate with Barfly Tailgate Show on the Bears Ballroom Radio Network.
Like you want to turn